Okay, so we're going to go through a couple of uses of AIs that are not violating ethical principles, like having ChatGPT or whoever do stuff for you. So let's go ahead and have everybody go to ChatGPT. Oh, actually, I should point this out. Let's go to Copilot because you didn't know it. But if you sign into Microsoft Copilot with your wncc.edu address, you get the good stuff. You have it. You just have to sign in with your WNCC. I keep forgetting that, and this is what I use. But if you sign in to Copilot on the web, continue with Microsoft, and let's go ahead and just all do that because you get the good stuff that you normally would have to pay for. You don't have to create an account because WNCC is already paying for it. And then you go into your school account, your password and all that stuff, but then you get the professional stuff. Because it even says personal work. And our enterprise account gives us the good stuff, like ChatGPT 5 or whatever they've got going on right now. I think there's a button that says use ChatGPT 5 when you go in. I was looking at that last night. But it has several other AIs too. Yeah, see, there it is. Well, I must have been looking at stuff for aquaponics. But yeah, if you want to do things, oh yeah, I was doing some research here. I keep forgetting about this. Anyway, this is the good stuff that the college is paying for you. So how do you use an AI to help you learn? Okay, so one of the things is how you put in the prompt. It's called prompt engineering. So one of the things we're going to do is tell the AI how to behave. So we're going to say, act as a community college instructor. We'll say community college programming and Python. We'll just say Python. Python instructor who gives good explanations or something like that. So now you've told the AI how you want it to respond to you. Otherwise, you're shooting the dice. You don't have to work in 2 or 3 lines. I like to, just because I think better that way. AI doesn't care. But if you do shift enter, then you can put in the next piece, which is what you want it to do. So say we want to create a tutorial that explains virtual environments. Give me some code samples. I didn't spell environments right, apparently. Yeah, virtual environments, give me some code samples, please. There. Oh yeah, what's a virtual environment? Well, look at that. So each project gets its own set of ingredients, Python packages, so they don't interfere with each other, right? So if you're making a chocolate cake and a vanilla cake, you don't want them in the same bowl. Virtual environments are useful as you get further, more advanced, and you're using multiple libraries. So what happens is sometimes, like right now, I'm not having that trouble, but I could. The aquaponics thing, I'm using OpenCV. Well, if you have OpenCV, you can't use the latest version of NumPy, which that's a like high-end statistical computational thingy. But if I had it in its own virtual environment, then it would have exactly the version of NumPy that it wants. And my other project would have the higher version if I was doing like statistical analysis or something. And it shows you how to do it. There it is. It's built in. Owen's seen this because we've started working in virtual environments more, and there's how you do it. And that shows you how to activate it. And then you see this. And then you install pip inside there, and it doesn't go anywhere else. You don't have a global environment where things can run into each other, which doesn't really happen until you get, much more advanced than we've gotten. Yeah, and then you can also recreate the environment by making a requirements.txt file, which just means that's everything that I want to have installed, and I don't have to install it separately. Yeah, so let's have it show a visual diagram while we're doing this. And then we're going to go to another place that I found that was I had a lot of fun with it yesterday. Notebook LM. Let's all go there. Type in a search for Notebook LM. It says notebooklm.google. So another way to get tutored. And actually, you're going to start seeing more of these from me because it was very cool. You can pay for it. And I discovered one of the things that you don't get when you don't pay for it is you don't get to make as many videos as you want. There's like a limit. So I found that out. See, I've done several of them. So we want to create a new note. Well, I'll pause for a second. Has everybody gotten here? No? I think you do have to have a Google account, maybe. I don't know. A Gmail account. Okay. So I'm just going to create a new notebook and we're working on Java. So you can type things in. I'm going to upload my PDF chapter on Java because I already have it. Or you could type it in, or you could, put in a Word document or whatever you wanted to do. You can put in anything. So I'm going to go to computer science, and I think the next thing we're going to work on is methods, right? Yeah, methods. But I'm going to put in my chapter about methods. What is a method? How is it different? All that kind of stuff. So it reads this in, and it kind of gives you like much of a synopsis of it. I can save that synopsis as a note as part of this notebook. I can do an audio overview. I can do a mind map. The coolest thing that I hadn't used for quite some time is the video overview. Now you can just let it go on its own, but if you click the pencil, you can describe what you want it to focus on. So I want to have explanations of each type. Explain each type of method. Give an example of each. Because the first video I did was really good and no one decided he was going to find another job after that, but it didn't give examples of example code. So give example code. And then we do generate. And it'll take a while. But you can also do mind maps, you can do reports, you can make a little quiz to quiz yourself on stuff. If you're like taking a history class and you want to do quiz or flashcards, you can quiz yourself, you can do flashcards if you're a biology major. You somehow have to get your information into here. You can paste it in, and you can add different sources. I mean, there's different things that you can do. You can discover sources. Apparently it'll like go out and try to find things. What? Oh, so it's not been 24 hours yet, so I can't make my video yet. So I'm not going to pay for it. What we'll do though, is we'll take a look at one of the ones I made yesterday. There we go, fun with functions. As soon as I find my video, I don't want to add a note, I want my video. There it is. Demystifying functions. This is all AI generated.
You know that feeling when you're writing code and you realize you've written the same few lines over and over and over again? Well, today we're going to talk about the solution. We're diving into one of programming's most fundamental tools, the function. We're going to see how they let us go from clunky, repetitive code to something way more elegant and reusable. First things first, there's this golden rule in software engineering you'll hear all the time. Don't repeat yourself, or as everyone calls it, dry. The whole idea is just, if you see yourself repeating code...
I just speeded it up so we didn't have to wait so long.
One principle is really the key to understanding why functions are keyword deaf.
See, this one I prompted and said, put in some examples.
Right after that, you give it a good descriptive name that tells you exactly what it's going to do. Next up, you have the parentheses. Now, these are not optional. You've got to have them. For now, they might be empty, but trust me, this is where the magic is going to happen a little later. Think of this as the doorway where we can pass information into our function to
That's
make
a good
it more
analogy.
powerful and flexible. And finally, we get to the indented body of the function. Now, that indentation is super important in Python, right? It's how Python...
Yeah, I don't say things like super important, but you can see that was just like from my PDFs that you have generated that pretty cool video that gives an overview. That's pretty decent. I can see nobody's excited as we got yesterday. This is a more laid back group. I don't know. Owen was like, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm gonna quit, find another job. Anyway, those are two ways. Oh, there it is. There's my picture came up. So if I'm doing something here with calculations and getting things from the web, it won't interfere with this. If I have packages that need to be at different levels. If what you're doing, everything needs to be at the same level, it's not a big deal, but it is a cleaner way to do it. You can get a printable version. I can add student-friendly labels. I can explain the diagram. There's lots of things that this is like the real Copilot. That's the one that most people pay 20 bucks a month for. Well, WNCC already paid that for you. So you can use Chat GPT 5 is the latest version of Chat GPT, and here it is. It says standard access. What does that mean? Does that mean we're not getting everything? Oh, we don't have priority access. But we have better than what they get for free. Because that's part of our stuff. All right. So use AI as a tutor. That is valid work. For your code gurus, use AI. For your projects, you can use AI. Make sure you credit where you got it from. And don't go down that slippery slope of, I don't quite understand this, so I think I'll just have ChatGPT do it for me. The minute you do that, you're on a downhill slide to not understanding anything else we do, because programming is just like math. If you don't understand this concept, this one is going to make no sense, and it's a cascade failure from that point on. So make sure that you can understand it.